Ladies and gentlemen, Creative Commons DJ Colin Brown and VJ Celine Saman.
And Creative Commons Qatar affiliate lead, Brian Wesolowski.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Sorry for a little bit of the delay. We had some technical difficulties, but they're all fixed now. What a wonderful space for the launch of Creative Commons Qatar. How about that? I'd like to thank our DJ, Celine, and our DJ, Colin. That was a live mix where Celine was mixing videos from different Arab movies and whatnot to the music that Colin was playing. We're going to see more live mixing later in the event so that we can kind of understand what Creative Commons is. First, I'd like to say, again, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. This day has been about 8 months in the works. Back in October of last year, we held an event called Digitally Open. And at that event, we tried to encourage people to share more, be more open, put their work online, and experience the true benefit of the internet when you share and collaborate. After that meeting, we hosted the regional event, the regional meeting for the Arab world for Creative Commons. And at the close of that meeting, Dr. Hessa Al-Jaber, the Secretary General of ICT Qatar, said, "I'd like a chapter of Creative Commons here in Qatar." Well, today that's a reality. Thank you, Dr. Hessa. Creative Commons is really about innovation. It's about sharing. It's about collaboration. It's all about realizing the full potential of the internet, putting your work out there, sharing it with others, and seeing what comes out of it. In the Arab world, there's so many amazing ideas. In Qatar, there's so many amazing ideas. In many ways, if you look around this room, it's almost like an incubation center. We have people from all over the world here. So what better place to collaborate and work together and see what comes from it? To tell you how Creative Commons really works, we have Donatella with us, who heads the Arab region, and she's going to tell us a little bit about how Creative Commons works, some of the great stuff that's going on, in the Arab region, and soon she'll be able to highlight a lot of what's going on in Qatar. But Donatella, please.
Thank you. أول شيء مساء الخير جميعا، وبدي أشكر الكل على وجودكم اليوم، وهلا راح أحكي إنجليزي. So thank you so much for coming tonight. Well, we are happy to be here because I mean, Creative Commons is based on the idea of sharing, and I'm very proud to be here because Arab culture, which I love, as I love the Arab language, is, according to me, has got a natural attitude towards sharing. And you here in the Arab world, you have the most beautiful resource ever, which is a youth. Young people here, more than 65% of the population is young, and you have to build on this creativity. Creativity is energy, creativity is future, and Creative Commons is a way to balance the right to of the author to protect his own work, but also to give the community the possibility to access this knowledge. And we know how much is history and past important for us to build the future. And that's why we are in a museum. So we are building on our history. But in order to build innovation on our history, we have to open up our history. So the way I see Creative Commons and the way I discuss about Creative Commons in the Arab world is a balance between this right of the author to be acknowledged as the original author of something and to avoid the copy and paste culture that sometimes is unfortunately widespread everywhere, and also the right of the community to access this knowledge. And the good thing about this is that the community takes and the community gives back, and that's why we love sharing. I will actually leave now the floor to a video that it's called shared culture, just to let you understand better what we mean when we say sharing. تشاركية بالعربي. شكرا. Play the video first.
What does it mean to be human if we don't have a shared culture? And what does a shared culture mean if you can't share it?
It's only in the last 100 or 150 years or so that we've started tightly restricting how that culture gets used.
The internet enabled an infrastructure where anybody could participate without asking permission.
We have all these new technologies that allow people to express themselves, take control of their own creative impulses, but the law is getting in the way.
Creative Commons is designed to save the world from failed sharing. People who actually want to share stuff, who put it up on the web because they want to share it under certain terms.
So we wanted to create a simple way for creators to say to the world, here's the freedom that I want to run with my creative work. Here are the things you're allowed to do.
Can I reproduce it? Can I copy it? Can I put it in my textbook? Can I use that photograph? Can I make a new version of it?
Creative Commons gives tools to creators to make a choice about copyright.
Creative Commons license can cover anything that copyright covers.
Every license says, you need to give me attribution. I created this, give me credit for the work I did.
The basic choices are commercial use or not. Can you make derivative works, versions, adaptations, or not? And do you want me to have to share alike? So if I take your stuff, do I have to offer it to the next person under the same terms?
There's no requirement for you to do anything with your work other than what you want to do. You own the copyright to it. What we've done is given you the right to exercise your copyright in more ways, more simply.
So the idea here is to enable that creative impulses that the technology turns loose and get the law out of the way.
The work of Creative Commons is really about laying the infrastructure groundwork for this new type of culture, a new kind of folk culture.
Somebody from Delhi, somebody from New York, somebody from Singapore
can feel comfortable using a photo that was created and given away by someone in the United States or in China or wherever that the licenses have been extended to,
with their identity being preserved.
Which means that people can actually create new kinds of things, come together and build things.
Mashups that people can do with people's Flickr photos.
And CC Mixter has allowed artists to make music together.
It's really about creativity and connection.
Access and control.
From amateurs who simply, for the love of what they're doing and they want to share it and they want other people to be able to make use of it, to commercial organizations.
In the end, this will have a very successful place in the for-profit economy.
Creative Commons is the bridge to this future. Is you got to move away from thinking about content to thinking about communities. Communities that develop around content, and the sharing that the licenses allow enable these communities to come together.
A physical commons is like a park where anybody can enter equally. A commons with intellectual works is actually much freer.
It really is going to be the pillar for communications between people, cultural exchange.
The space for more speech, more free expression.
And that's the kind of commons we're trying to create.
So the video. I hope you like it. We have some of our people, like Lawrence Lessig, who was actually invited to this country, to Qatar, back in 2006. And that's how we started to talk with one of the institutions which is hosted in this country, but it's an international institution, Al Jazeera, who was actually the first broadcaster who adopted Creative Commons licenses in the world. And they did a wonderful repository called cc.aljazeera.net that is built around the philosophy of Creative Commons that I just tried to explain, which is this idea of taking from the community and giving back to the community. So I'm very happy tonight to welcome here on the stage Waddah Khamfar, who is the Director General of Al Jazeera. Please welcome us.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Assalamu alaikum. In fact, the mission of Creative Commons is part of Al Jazeera spirit. And from the first day that the idea was presented to us, we thought in Al Jazeera that we are in line with this great philosophy and idea and mission. And this is why we immediately, we had some kind of consultation with our teams, and we agreed that this is the line that Al Jazeera would like to take. To start, I would like to say, media could be and should be a great gate for knowledge. Sometimes it is locked through copyrights and through many other rights. And sometimes it becomes part of people's innovative and creative quest for future. In Al Jazeera, we have chosen to take the side of the people, not the side of centers of power, not the side of commercialization. We have decided that people's right for knowledge is sacred, and it does guarantee magnificent, tolerant, and great future for humanity. We would like to play that role. It is part of our DNA, and it is part of our mission. While we are speaking today, we are speaking in a moment in history which is great for us in this region. Yes, we have to pay back to the people, those in Tunisia, in Egypt, and in many other Arab countries who have participated in drafting great page in our history through the usage of their mobile phones and the usage of their technology in order to show everyone in the world the great revolution that the Arabs are capable of. Yesterday we have received a videotape or a film that we did broadcast on Al Jazeera through YouTube from Syria. Today we have discovered that the youngster who have filmed that tape was killed. He paid his life for the sake of showing the world what is happening. And in this case, I would like to say, part of the duty of Al Jazeera towards the people, we would like to extend more and more the content that could be made available for people to use it and to develop it and to go ahead with it in order to create this magnificent environment and mission. Al Jazeera will sponsor on the 30th of June until the 2nd of July in coordination with the Creative Commons, a regional meeting in Tunisia. And I think Tunisia symbolically is important for all of us to support and to regard it on the forefront of creative future that every one of us is thinking of. We are going to sponsor a regional meeting in order to make more awareness about Creative Commons and to support any initiative that people could really have free access to content in order to develop it and in order also to make it available in many other formats. I thank you very much. This is a great moment actually to launch this chapter in Qatar. I think everyone who has participated in this magnificent occasion should be saluted. This is beautiful. Thank you all. And I hope that we are going to celebrate in many other countries in the Arab world to launch more chapters for Creative Commons. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you so much. And it's wonderful that you'll be hosting that meeting in Tunis. I'm going to try to convince my boss, who's sitting right in front of me, to let me go to Tunis for that meeting. So Dr. Hassuk, if you could ask Huwaida if I could go to that meeting, I'd appreciate it. Public shame, right? So I'd like to talk a little bit. We're going to show a video shortly about Al Jazeera's Creative Commons repository and how it works, and an artist, actually an author, who has used it to great effect. But first I'd like to talk just a little bit about what we're going to be doing here in Qatar. Al Jazeera obviously is a great model for what can be done with an international organization, but Al Jazeera, as we've said before, Creative Commons is about community. And what we really want to do is build the community here in Qatar. Of course, there's the legal side to Creative Commons, and thankfully a lawyer from Al Jazeera, Mohammed Al Said, who's here somewhere, has agreed to lead up porting of the licenses to Qatar. However, we're starting now. There's unported licenses that we can use, and that's what we're going to be promoting the use of here in Qatar. But let's not focus on the legal tonight. Let's focus on the community. Let's focus on the artists, the scientists, the researchers, the filmmakers, everyone in this room that is a creative. And I know there's a lot of creatives in here, and all of you know there's creatives in here because the slideshow that was going before we started was works done by people from Qatar. So we'll bring that up later, and we'll be bringing all those artists up here. So all you artists who I've talked to and convinced to come here, you're going to be joining me on stage in a little bit so we can all see you. But I just want to recognize that there's a huge community here, a huge community here. What we're going to be doing is having workshops on specific topics so that we can show how Creative Commons is more than just sharing, it's collaborating, it's innovating. We're actually having our very first workshop tomorrow, and it's for visual artists. And one of our artists here, Naima, came from Lebanon to show how she's using Creative Commons in her work to collaborate with artists, not just in Lebanon, but around the region and truly around the world. So she's going to lead that workshop. It's being hosted by Virginia Commonwealth, who's a tremendous partner for us already. The first workshop was so popular, it sold out in it's free, but it booked up in less than 4 hours. So we had to actually add a second workshop, and that will take place on Thursday as well. So it shows that there's a lot of visual artists in Qatar. Beyond this, we're looking to do meetups. We're going to take part in the tweet-ups. If you've been to the tweet-ups, they're a lot of fun. Creative Commons is going to be there a lot, hopefully, Bilal, right? We're going to get out there. We're also going to work with organizations. So as we grow the community, the users, the individuals, we're also going to reach out to organizations. We've had some great meetings with the Qatar Museum Authority, Mataf, and hopefully they'll be able to announce something relatively soon. I was leaning on them to announce something tonight. It did not happen, but we have a lot of museum folks here working on it to make it happen. So there's a little bit more of that guilt. I'm big on this guilt right now. We've also been working with reaching out to organizations such as Bloomsbury Qatar. We've also reached out to universities and plan to reach out to more universities. We'll be reaching out to researchers, Qatar Science and Technology Park. If you're here, we'd like to talk to you and talk about ways that we can incorporate Creative Commons into the work you're doing. Because the more content we share from Qatar, the more people will know about Qatar, will hear the Arab voice, but the more innovation that will be resulting from here. So that's our goal. Get the content out there, get it out there in a way that it can be discovered, shared, collaborated upon, and I think it will lead to amazing things. So on that, I'm going to show one amazing example, which is how Al Jazeera's Creative Commons repository has led to one amazing work.
My name's Rosie Garthwaite. I work in the newsroom here in Al Jazeera in Doha, in Al Jazeera English. I've written a book called How to Avoid Being Killed in a War Zone, and that book's about safety in the field. When I was looking for ways to promote my book, I looked for film footage that I could use, and I wanted to use Al Jazeera footage, and then discovered this thing called Creative Commons.
My name is Mohammed Nanabai. I'm the head of online for Al Jazeera English. I launched the Al Jazeera Creative Commons repository in 2009. It's one of the first Creative Commons repositories that's been put online by a big broadcaster, public broadcaster.
Creative Commons is like a giant licensing system that allows companies from around the world to upload their own footage using that licensing system so that people like me can use it. So in this case, I'm looking to Al Jazeera and all its brilliant footage to use for my own promotion.
We had initially assumed that our work would mostly be used by other documentary filmmakers. Surprisingly, just hours after we put the repository online, we got emails from Wikipedia editors. So suddenly you had, people who are building this human-generated encyclopedia, this repository of knowledge that everybody uses now as a resource to enhance, enhance knowledge and global knowledge. And I thought it was such a fantastic contribution.
So I'm bringing up the website here, which is cc.aljazeera.net, and I'm actually looking for pictures of people in Egypt protesting, because I want to show some of the journalists that got stuck in the middle of it. I found the thing I want, so all I do is download it, click, and then I can simply bring it into my editing system, which is on my computer, and Bob's your uncle. It's mine to use.
I think within most organizations, there's this culture that it's ours. And we produce this and we should own it. And usually it gets stuck in an archive and it's never used and seen again. And I think it's just really a philosophical change for us to shift the perception of when we create content, what should happen to that content, that it should be able to live on, it should breathe on, and perhaps we should be enabling the next generation of filmmakers to take that and use it.
The great thing about Al Jazeera licensing its footage to the Creative Commons licensing system is that it's not just for people like me, TV producers, it's actually for anyone, anywhere to use.
So that's one organization that's using Creative Commons, and I'm not going to talk about too many because I really want to focus on the individual artists in Qatar, which is why I need my iPad so I can remember all their names. But first I'd like to highlight one of them. A lot of people, when they think Creative Commons, they think artists, and they should. In a lot of ways, Creative Commons is tailored for artists. Artists create works that force us to look at the world in new ways. Well, Creative Commons is also for researchers and scientists, because a lot of times it's the research and scientists that explain the world to us in new ways. So one organization here in Qatar, which is part of Qatar Foundation, called qscience.com. It's part of Bloomsbury, Qatar, and they are releasing numerous science journals under Creative Commons licenses already. It's a tremendous project. Check it out, qscience.com. We actually have Chris Leonard here. I'm going to start inviting people on stage now, so it'll fill in. So Chris, you're going to be the first one that comes and joins us on stage, our first creative, so come on up here. Now we're going to start, actually I have a great announcement to make tonight. The first Creative Commons Qatar contest. And this is for all you photographers in the room, professional and amateur alike. Here's Chris. Chris, thank you. Someone over here. So, of course you all know Qatar Happening, everyone's favorite event magazine in Qatar. They've agreed to partner with us for a photo contest where we are inviting people to submit their photos that tell you what Qatar is. A photo from Qatar, and then they will judge, and that photo will be on the cover of the September issue. And I'll tell you, the September issue is a coveted issue because it's after we're done with the summer. So everyone's ready to go to events, go to the parties. You want to be on that cover. So this contest is going to launch tomorrow, and I'd like to invite the people from Qatar Happening to come up here, be recognized, join on stage. Sydney, their editor. Jay, I don't know your exact title, but he does everything. Mikey, come on up on stage. So that contest will launch tomorrow on creativecommons.qa, and there'll be more details. We'll be promoting it very actively on Twitter and Facebook. but you can have that cover if you want. It'll be fantastic. Thank you. Now I get to talk about a lot of what the individuals are doing. So all of you have been to the Virgin Megastore and you've seen the books, the Qatar narratives, with the great photographs, the great essays, the poems from Qatar, people telling their stories from here. There's 5 books in the series. We're going to have 2 of them under Creative Commons. The first ones that were already released, there's not much we can do about that. The ones that are upcoming, we can release under Creative Commons, and a lot of the artists are here today and have agreed to do this. Letters from Qatar is part of the Qatar narrative series. We had some quotes running from great authors who have submitted essays and whatnot. I'm going to read out, oops, I actually skipped ahead. I'm going to read out a few of these. Ruda Al-Naimi, when I call your name, please come up. If I mispronounce it, I apologize. We have Wasim Said, Matthias Krug. They're not coming up. Come up, people, I'm serious. Miriam Ahmed Yusuf, and Omar Aluba. Another part of this series is called Drisha. And Drisha is photos as well as essays. Everyone can clap for those. Yeah, go ahead, that first group, even though they're not here. Drisha is a group of photos, and they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful, along with essays. And we have numerous artists that were in this book that have agreed to have their works released under Creative Commons. So we have Abdullah Rahman Al-Subahi. Please come up. Aju Chris George, or Aju George Chris, mine is wrong. I should read from this. Anfal Al-Kandari, here we go, very good. Miriam Ahmed Yusuf, Matthias Krug again, Nayab Sheikh, Philip Warlaw and Richard McDermott, and Salah Al-Kuleifi. So please, if you're here, let's give them a round of applause. Now, I actually missed a little thing that I meant to do. Another exciting announcement. Please, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. There we go, filling in. I actually skipped ahead a little bit. We also have another great announcement, and some of these same people are involved in it. There's going to be a web TV series that is going to be released under Creative Commons and actually hosted on the Creative Commons Qatar website. So it is actually the Middle East version of The Office. We all know The Office from the American version. The British version came first. I'm partial to the American version. So the name of this series is called Mish Mish. And we actually have a video for the making of Mish Mish. It's all produced here in Qatar, all actors from Qatar. They did casting, they came up with the name through a whole crowdsource, and the person actually leading this project is here, Mohana. She's going to come up, but first let's show the video, and then we'll bring up Mohana.
Hi! Yani, I have butterflies in the stomach.
It's fine, but I'm hearing some scream.
Hey, take your time. Remember, you're a diva. Okay.
Song running.
Wouldn't it be fun to write the pilot script? And then I showed it to a couple people, and they said that they thought the script was really funny. Then we decided to hold auditions and just kind of see what was out there, and here we are.
¿Dónde está Leroy?
Every word counts. Every single word, okay? Because if it's on the page, it's there for a reason. And if you don't want to say it, then remove it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mish Mish. That's going to be, let me walk this way. That's going to be launching early next month. We'll, of course, be promoting that very actively, so look for Mish Mish. So I'm going to call up the people. Everyone, cast, come up. Mohana right here, our creator, start filling in here. Carrie Suak, KK Rajesh, Bitex Sudaram, Hanadi Hassan right here, Mohammed Nairuz, Jasmine Al-Ghazar, Salima Al-Ismaili, and Gina Al-Ghazar. So part of the crew is up here. They're going to be celebrities very, very soon, so give them a big round of applause. Okay, what about bloggers? I have a couple bloggers here. Creative Commons works excellent on blogging. You can just apply it right to your blog and all that content can be shared, discovered. Why wouldn't you do it? Blogging is about being open. So I have a couple, and I know there's more bloggers out there that use CC. I found a few. Yasser Khan, I know you're here, so please come up, Yasser. He actually has 2 blogs under CC. I don't know how he does 2 blogs. I can't even do one. We also have everyone's favorite Doha News by Shabina Khatri. I hope she's here. It's a wonderful site. There she is, Shabina. And then we have the one that I have to talk about because it's ICT Qatar's blog. It's under Creative Commons as well from day one. And we have a lot of great writers. So anyone that's written for Digital Qatar, if you're not doing something with AV, come on up here. If you're trying to keep the power on, stay. Photographers. Now, photographers are by far the most active community here in Qatar in terms of usage of Creative Commons. Why is that? Well, there's a lot of photographers here. I don't know why, but this is one of the most active places that uses Flickr in the world. In terms of percentage of population, it is the highest in the world. There are photographers in Qatar. The great thing about Flickr is it makes it really easy to use Creative Commons. The second you upload a picture, you can choose the rights, and Creative Commons licenses are right there, so you can apply it right to your work. So many artists here, so many photographers are doing this. They figured it out. They were doing it before Creative Commons Qatar existed. And here's some photographs from them. This is actually my favorite, and I hope she came tonight. She wasn't sure if she would. Aisha Abdul Razak, because here she is. She is here. Wonderful. She's the first person to comment on Creative Commons Qatar's Facebook page. And she said, I'd like to be a part of this. How do I get my photos under Creative Commons? And we were able to say, this is how you do it. And now she has photos under Creative Commons. And here's some of her great photographs. So thank you so much for being the first person to post on our wall and share your photos with us. So now we have a lot of photographers. And these are really tremendous images. So I'm going to read through all of them. Khalid Al-Bai, if you're here, please come up. Click, click, click. Mohammed Nairuz, who's already up here on stage. So he's an actor, a photographer. I think you also sing, right? So Mohammed Ramadan, please come up. I know you're here. Some tremendous photos. It's like graduation. He has a huge audience here. He's the one with the family that came. Lubaid Ghazir, if you're here, come on up, Lubaid. Here's Lubaid. Look at his tremendous photographs. Mohammed Dudin. Tremendous photos. All these photographs, artists from Qatar. Mahmoud Ashi. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Thank you. We're going to have a lesson for me later on how to pronounce Arabic names. Omar Chitwala. Omar, are you here, I hope? Umar Shabib. I don't know if he can come up. There we go. Umar Shabib is also the one who did the intro video. So if you enjoyed the intro video, he's a filmmaker and a photographer. And our last photographer here, Boutros Haddad. These are some tremendous photos as well. So hopefully Boutros will come up. And other people who are using Creative Commons very effectively already are graphic designers. Graphic designers create so much content, and some of it, as we know, doesn't get used. But that doesn't mean that that content doesn't have value or it shouldn't be shared in the public realm. Someone else may find your logo amazing and use it for their company. So we've convinced some graphic designers that they should be under. One of them, I'm a little bit guilty, is our graphic designer, Samar Saman. So she has some tremendous works under Creative Commons already. These are logos that she's done at various points in her life that are now available under Creative Commons. We also have another one, Hayan Monwar. Hayan, I hope you're here. I think Samar recruited you to come, so you should be here. Come on, come up. Okay. Tremendous work as well. And then we have some very interesting ones. Oops, I went too far. Hold on. Architects. Why can't you put the designs for architecture up online and see if other people can build on it? Take it somewhere else. You know, some of these ones, we have two brothers here that actually run an architect firm, and they've started to release some of the images of designs they've done under Creative Commons so people can use them. So maybe their houses will be built somewhere they didn't anticipate, or maybe someone will put new things on it that they didn't expect. So here's some of their great designs. Come on up here, Rami and Rabia Ghanem. Hold on, there's their work. But this is high content. Rami, come. Okay, so we have one. And then we have visual artists. Now, Samar's already up here. Visual artists can be anyone, painters, they can be graphic designers, they can be, well, photographers are visual artists as well. I just pulled them out. But any form of visual art. So we'll have a workshop for them tomorrow. Samar had her first public exhibit recently, and here's some of the works. She hasn't released them all under Creative Commons. I'm working on that, but she's released some of them under Creative Commons. Some tremendous works here. Hayan Monwar also has some excellent works here. He's already on stage. Then we have two works. Muhammad hold on, let me see my screen. I can't read it. People are blocking it now. Muhammad Al-Hamadi. Some works from him. Cool, right? And Aziza Iqbal. Please come up. Great, fantastic. I actually saw you at the tweet up. You do a little bit of everything. We're almost done, I promise. If you're getting bored, it's almost over. Web developers are a tremendous group that can also use it. Every web page has source code. Everything has a backcode to it. Release that code. Our website, which I'll get to in a second, I'm cutting ahead. Let me first go to this one. It's hard to show code, it's hard to show all that stuff, so we'll show a picture. Abdulrahman Al-Taiba, I hope you're here, I haven't seen you yet, but come on out. He's released a lot of tremendous work, not under Creative Commons, but in the public domain. He was at our Digitally Open event as one of our stars. Maybe he's in the back, he'll come up. So give him, oh, there you are. And then this is what I'm proud of. Creative Commons was developed in open source, and it was developed by on her own, working with the community. This is totally done in open source, Creative Commons principles, and all the content available under Creative Commons. The primary person who did it is Aisha Sadiq. Please, Aisha, come up, be recognized. It's pretty cool. And then also, you know, a little bit of help from our friend Shelby and others, so I think he may be on but he's free. Come on. Okay. And then that's it. So now what I'd like to do, fill in the stage a little bit. Let's kind of fill this in a little bit. I'd like to invite up a couple of other people who have been very supportive of Creative Commons and really made it happen. So first, I'd like to invite up Huwaida Nadim. Huwaida is, as I said, my boss, and I'm guilting her to come to let me go to Tunis. But Huwaida is really a lot of the driving force at ICT Qatar and allowing her staff to work on this project. I'd also like to invite Bob Conwell, if he came. He's from Virginia Commonwealth, and he's been the person who's really been helping us coordinate our workshops, and he's promised to let me use this space whenever I want it. So we will be doing a lot of workshops at VCU. So if you're here, Bilal, please come up. I'd also like to invite people from the Museum Authority up. Travers Lee here has been my good friend and has been helping me talk to the Museum Authority probably more than they want to hear from me, but he's been a major advocate for this. And also, is Roger still here? Roger Mandel? He was at Digitally Open, and he was a major factor in getting this on the agenda at the Qatar Museum Authority. I hope here he is. Okay. I'd also like to ask Fatma Musa to come up. She works at Mataf, and she has been probably the biggest CC advocate in the Museum Authority here, and I've actually convinced her to help me in big benefit. So thank you very much. Of course, I have to invite everyone here in the front row because without the people here, it would not be possible. They're the ones who have said to us, yes, we want this, yes, go ahead, yes, do it and build a community. Dr. Sheikha, Dr. Hessa, Sheikha, is it Dr. Sheikha? Two Dr. Sheikhas. Please come up, I haven't met you guys, so I apologize. Please come up and join us. We've been huge supporters. Please come up. All right, you don't want to come up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you your Creative Commons budget. Now we're just about done. I'm going to give you, hopefully my artists are all set up right now, or they all do. We're going to do one more example of how Creative Commons works. We have two tremendous artists from Lebanon here, Laima and Leila, right here. We're going to come up front, we're going to have a scholar. And what they are doing today, they're both artists in their own right. Okay. We're going to let them keep mixing and remixing for a bit. The reception's going to continue. That's how Creative Commons works. They took pictures, they took the animations from Lena, they took the digital arts of Naima, they're combining them. Give them another couple of minutes, you're going to have actually digital animations up here. So I'm going to wrap up today by thanking everyone for coming. I would very much like to thank first Ani Sharma, who's our event coordinator, done a tremendous job. He had the power going on in here, and we still have an event. Thank you, Ani. I'd like to thank QVision, Digital Media, our event partners on this, and the W Hotel for catering this. And now I'm going to invite you all to please enjoy our reception. We're going to have our DJ Colin start spinning for the next hour. We're going to have Celine do some more video mixing for us. And also the museum has been gracious enough to open their Golden Age of Dutch Painting exhibit for us for free. So you can also go look at those beautiful Dutch paintings. They're stunning. Thank you everyone for coming. I hope you'll be a part of the community, and I look forward to working with every single one of you. Thank you so much.
And I want to thank the museum, of course, and I want to thank this fantastic artist from CC Lebanon and CC Canada who came all the way now from Qatar, Lebanon to join us and show this remix. So thank you everybody. Shukran Jazeera. إلى اللقاء.